So the question they're going to be debating is, should athletes have to attend college for 3 years before entering into the NFL? Natalie and Kelly are the yes side, and Adriana and Grace are the no side.
Kelly and I believe yes. Athletes should be attending college for 3 years before entering the NFL.
So athletes that would attend college for 3 years would get more playing time and the experience that they need to play at the higher level at the NFL. At such a young age, players may not have matured enough to understand the certain situations that may arise in a professional game or their locker room. For example, college basketball is still big on shaping their players for the NBA, which is susceptible to a lack of leadership and knowing how to handle times of stress.
Also, football players are less likely to get injured because they don't have a huge jump from high school to the NFL league, which is obviously much more it's obviously more dangerous because people are stronger and have more experience, because most football players have played college football for 3 or plus more years. 44% of former players said that they have either had a joint replacement or have been advised that they'll need one. If you have a career-ending injury and don't go to college, you aren't going to have anything because you won't have enough money, because most of the time you're going to have an injury in the 2 to 3 years if you're playing. And in the 2 to 3 years if you're playing in the NFL, you aren't going to have enough money to live your whole life forever. So if you're on the league salary without endorsements, you're not going to be able to live a healthy life.
And some of the NFL players that have not gone to college for 3 years, they're kind of hopeless because they don't have that extra college degree to get them a better job after high school. And NFL athletes graduated at a rate of 10 to 30%, points below the graduation rate for American college students at large, even though many of the players were on full athletic scholarships throughout their college careers.
Football players, as out of high school, they're going to be 18 years old, more than likely, so they should be able to make their own decisions. So since this is more likely, it's more likely they'll be out of high school and legal adult. But yes, they may be able to make their own decisions because they're going to be 18. But what 18-year-old is ready to make a real life decision of not going to college for 3 years? 3 or more years? Probably no one. It just doesn't make sense for an 18-year-old right out of high school to make a decision like not going to college for 3 years and then just going to play in the NFL. Like, they have no life experience or no life experience.
Though young people might be able to make their own decisions, these decisions aren't always going to be great because they have no life experience yet, like Natalie said before, and they need a few years to grow on their own and in the real world but without guidance.
Unlike Natalie and Kelly, Grace and I think no, athletes should not have to attend college for 3 years before entering the NFL.
Athletes who are looking for a professional career are taking up spots in colleges that could be going to other people who actually want to be there to earn the degree. About 5.8% of college athletes end up going to the NFL, and there's around 12,650 players in the NCAA right now. That is approximately 2,181 players that go pro from all those athletes. Although this is a small amount, that is a lot of spots that could be going to other people. Those 2,181 players probably had a pretty good idea that they would be going into the NFL and that they wanted to go into the NFL. They also probably got scholarships because they were really good. Those athletes could go straight to the NFL, and their open spots could go to scholars that want to go to college in order to get a degree and then pursue a career with that degree.
We also think that athletes should be able to go straight into the NFL draft and skip college because it's more of an opportunity to get injured and result in ruining your chances at the pros anyway. A report by the NCAA about football injuries claims that football players are nearly 7 times more likely to be injured during a game than practice, and all that time in college just increases your chance of being injured and ruining your chances at the pros.
Students are legal adults after turning 18 years old and should be able to make their own decisions. Young adults are allowed to enter straight into the Army, Navy, Air Force, etc. after high school, but cannot play a professional sport. If a student is passionate enough about serving for their country, they can go into the military and do so as soon as they turn 18 with no parental consent. In the military, people are put in dangerous situations during training and in the battlefield and are allowed to deal with firearms and other weapons. Young adults can also get jobs and enter the workplace as soon as they graduate and turn 18. They can inherit businesses from family or even start creating their own. This is because 18 is the age that someone becomes a legal adult in the United States. They start making their own choices and becoming more independent in most cases. If they are able to make these life-changing decisions on their own right out of high school, why shouldn't they be able to make the decision to follow their passion as a professional athlete?
Some people claim that kids right out of high school are not developed enough to go straight to the pros and play professional football. However, professional football teams and players have an off season to prepare for that help them prepare for the real season. The off season for football is almost half a year, and in that time, there's plenty of times for players out of high school to get ready and prepare.
That's it.